Expect the vibe of today to be more open and more social. Also, to expect there to be deeper conversations and deeper insights that'll sharpen your awareness with the beliefs that you're carrying in your mind, that will allow for you to show up and create and connect in new ways. And also, too, we're being encouraged to show up real and raw and authentic. The more we can do that, the more we're going to be able to heal our sense of self. What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the astrological forecast here for October 30th, 2025. I hope you're all doing well. I want to switch over here to the chart and let's take a look at what's going on today. We have this moon here in Aquarius that's going to be trining over to Venus here in Libra. We also have Mercury here in Sagittarius that's going to be sextiling Pluto here in Aquarius. And then we end the day with the moon in Aquarius sextiling Chiron retrograde in Aries here, right here. Yeah, the day is going to start off more open and more social. This moon being in Aquarius, trining that Venus here in Libra. Very good for relationships and connections. It's also Libra deals with peace and harmony. And there's also this harmonious aspect, right, with the trine to this moon. So this is us being able to find that natural elegance and grace to show up, create, and connect with other people, whether it's people in your personal life or whether it's through social media. It just inspires connection. So the vibe becomes more social and more open. And then we also have this Mercury here in Sagittarius that's sextiling Pluto. And this is what I meant by expect the deeper conversations, right? Mercury deals with communication. It's also our thought process. So it can be deeper insights that we find that can be very transformative, right? Because Pluto rules transformation and what's buried underneath the surface. So conversations in your own thought process takes on a more sharper sense of perception. And this could lead to breakthroughs when it comes to how we communicate, also how we understand and relate. And also it can bring a breakthrough in regards to our belief systems, what it is that we know. So this can sharpen your awareness. This could open you up to a whole new way of seeing things and understanding things that connects to the larger macrocosm here with Pluto being here in Aquarius, that allows for you to be able to socially connect in a more powerful way. This is also very good, this aspect with Mercury, Pluto, very good for powerful, persuasive communication. So your words have weight. And also your thoughts too have weight. And then we have this moon here in Aquarius that's going to be sextiling Chiron retrograde here in Aries. Now, this is what I meant by like showing up real and raw and authentic. Because Chiron being retrograde in Aries, Chiron is our deepest wounds. It's the wounds that we're healing right now. And it takes conscious work. The shadow side of Chiron, when you don't address wounds, it's like you project them onto other people or you somewhat don't take accountability for it. So it does take that conscious awareness of having to embrace the uncomfortableness of whatever it is in order for you to bring healing to it, because you first have to gain awareness of it. But with it being in Aries, it's around our sense of self, our independence, our identity, wounds related to the ego. And so with the moon sextiling Chiron, the moon being in Aquarius is more objectively detached. So Aquarius deals with the collective, it deals with groups, it deals with other people. And really when you break down Aquarius, it's how can I show up in a way in which is removing my own ego and my own wants and is more focused on the collective goal. So a really good example of this would be Like Moon in Aquarius would be you're with your friends or you're with a group of people, and then the Chiron in Aries would represent to where you feel weird about yourself, or you don't feel like you fit in, or like maybe you're shy, or maybe you're timid, or I don't know, there's just some type of insecurity that you feel in regards to the connection of that group. But with the sextile here, you're being encouraged to not close up or shell up or put on a mask or play a role or show up and perform or be someone that you're not. You're being encouraged to show up real, raw, and authentic, and through showing up real, raw, and authentic, healing can happen. I don't know why this scenario comes to my mind, but Moon in Aquarius would be like a group Zoom call, and you're up next to introduce yourself. Y'all know what I'm talking about? When they're like, all right, let's introduce ourselves, right? Tell us something about you. And that Chiron being in Aries is like, this is who I am, right? And you sort of just feel somewhat awkward, or you just feel like a lack of self, or just something in the moment may bring up some type of insecurity. But because it's a sextile, it's a harmonious aspect, through embracing just being real, raw, and authentic and being yourself, that's what's going to help heal and strengthen your sense of self. So don't be afraid to assert yourself and be yourself. And through doing that, you'll heal. You'll be able to work through that uncomfortability, right? The uncomfortable will become the comfortable. But it does sort of bring a little bit of a feeling of awkwardness. So I would say today takes on a more open social vibe with this moon being in Aquarius, trining over to Venus and Libra. Really good for relationship connections, socializing, good, peaceful, harmonious energy, wanting to really connect and create. And then this Mercury sextile Pluto, this is where deeper conversations and deeper insights can be had that can transform the way in which you communicate, but also in which you relate. So it could really reform your belief systems, allowing for you to find deeper connection in the world, or deeper connection to the things that you're connected to, with Pluto being in Aquarius. And also your words and your thoughts have power, right? Pluto rules power. So the ability to be able to influence, persuade, speak, communicate is enhanced. So be confident, especially with that Chiron being here in Aries, sextiling this moon in Aquarius. Be confident. Be confident in yourself, right? Aries rules yourself. Mercury deals with your communication, your thought process, your beliefs. Be confident. And you'll actually find that it's not that bad whenever the moon does sextile Chiron here. Because anytime Chiron makes any aspects, whether it's a trine or a sextile, it still always brings this energy of unease a bit. It's kind of like it's like a conscious wound that you have, even if you're working on it, healing it. It's just something that you're still conscious of. So it's like you're self-conscious. It's definitely Chiron in Aries, like you're self-conscious of something. But the best thing to do, specifically, and I'm just giving examples now, I'm kind of just ranting a bit, but it all ties into the overall energy of what I'm talking about. But the best thing to do is not focus on yourself, right? Moon in Aquarius, Aquarius deals with focus on other people, right? Focus on other people. Focus on being of service to other people. Like put the spotlight on others. Because a lot of times, like if we're self-conscious, we're thinking too much about ourselves. Like for instance, like when we go to record a video and we have something really great to share, or if we just want to share something with someone in general, or talk to someone about something, it's like whenever we do it, we become very self-conscious. We're thinking about everything that we're thinking. We're thinking about how we look. We're thinking about all these other things. And it's just like, we're just very self-conscious, right? But instead, we should be focused on, how can I serve this person? Like, how can I show up and create real connection with this person? And so it's like you kind of can flip the script by putting more of the spotlight and focus on how can I be of service, or how can I be more about them and not think so much about me. And through doing that, you'll actually strengthen your self-confidence or your sense of self. So that was a very channeled message that came through. Maybe someone needed to hear that. But nonetheless, that is the forecast for today, y'all. Very short. Not a lot going on today. We just came off that You know, Mars here is coming off that trine to Saturn here in Pisces. It's still a little bit active. It's not even a degree off, I would feel. It's about to become a degree off. So there's still this energy of us still being able to channel our will constructively, right? Finding discipline and endurance with what it is that we're trying to create and build toward in regards to the ideal future here that we're feeling inspired to create for ourselves with this North Node being in Pisces. But that trine starting to come off. So I would say today's sort of like the last day of kind of being able to capitalize on that energy. Mars is getting close, though, to trining Neptune, so this is like becoming a water bender. And I'll touch more on this in the next coming days, but this is where Bruce Lee would say, be like water, my friend. And I'll definitely touch on that transit, because I think that transit's going to be very interesting transit. All right, but I'm gonna leave it here. I appreciate everyone for being here. Also, too, I guess I can touch base on this too. I mean, Mercury is starting to come off that opposition to Uranus, so I think if there were any shocks or unexpected things that happened in your environment or shifts in yourself or your own thought process, I think it was more so of yesterday. Like, I'll give you an example. Like today here, I live in Texas, and it was just like super fucking windy. Like, it's like crazy wind. And I just laughed because that's such a Mercury opposed Uranus and Gemini. Just Gemini is air, right? So it deals with air. And it's just super windy. And it's not even necessarily that I'm connecting it to Gemini, but it's just something unexpected. Like, this is out of the ordinary. You'll tend to notice that a lot with Uranus transits. But that Mercury opposition is finishing here. And so I think, you know, the unexpected and all that stuff is already kind of passed. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to leave it here, y'all. I appreciate everyone for, of course, tuning in and watching. And I want to know what y'all have planned for today. What do y'all have planned for today? I appreciate you all. I'm going to leave it here, and I'll see you all in the next video.